So guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be performing and teaching you a very cool oil and water routine. So with all that said, let's just jump straight into it. So to begin with, we're going to be using two separate packets of cards. We're going to be using one packet of cards which is consisting of 4 Jack of Spades here. We'll just leave them off to the side for now. And we're going to use a separate packet consisting of 4 Ace of Diamonds, okay? And we'll leave those just off to the side, just like that, okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to mix these together because the densities of these cards are completely different, and the properties, these properties enable them to do something quite miraculous, which you wouldn't expect playing cards to be able to do. But you'll see what I mean in just a second. So what we're going to do is we're going to place a Jack, and we're going to place an Ace. We're then going to place a Jack, and then we're going to place an Ace. We're going to place a Jack, we're going to place an Ace, we'll place our final Jack, and then our final Ace. So now we're just going to square everything up nice and fairly. And now right now, as you can see, everything is still mixed the way we just did, mixing it Jack, Ace all the way out throughout the packet. But as I said, the densities of these cards are quite different. So if we add a little friction to the packet, just like that, that allows these cards to actually separate. So now we have the Ace of Diamonds all separated from the Jacks here, just like that. Okay, so we're going to do exactly the same thing again, but this time we'll keep the Aces face up so you can keep along. So what we're going to do is we're going to place a Jack, and then we're going to follow that with an Ace. And next we're going to follow that up with another Jack here, and then we're going to follow that up with another Ace. Then we're going to place another Jack, and we're going to place another Ace, and place our final Jack, and once again our final Ace. So very nice and fair. We're going to square that up very slowly. I want to show you that they are still mixed because we haven't added the friction yet. All we have to do is add that little bit of friction and heat, just like that, and once again the Aces will all separate once again from the Jacks. So I've shown you what happens when we actually mix these cards together, but what I haven't shown you is the weird thing that happens when we don't actually mix these Jacks and Aces together. So what we're going to do is we're going to place the Jacks, and then we're going to place the Aces on top. Now if we add the friction again, but obviously they weren't mixed to begin with, but if we add the friction, it actually confuses the cards here, and they start to mix on their own, which is pretty incredible, because now we have Jack, Ace, Jack, Ace, Jack, Ace throughout the entire packet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate the packets once again into 4 cards each. I'm going to place 4 cards over here and 4 cards over here, and we still have our Jack, Ace, our Jack, and our Ace. Okay, so they are all still mixed up at this point. So what we're going to do is, obviously we still have 4 cards over here, and we have our 4 cards over here. But if we add that friction once again, obviously they were mixed, it doesn't take long for our cards to separate, and we actually have our Jacks up in our hand here, and now the Aces should be on the table. So we take a look, we have all 4 Aces now on the table, which is pretty cool if I do say so myself. So what we're going to do next is we're going to actually interlace these Aces into the Jacks here. So we're going to take an Ace, and then another Ace, and then another Ace, and then the final Ace on top. Now if we interlaced our Aces with our Jacks one more time, we're going to square them up nice and slowly, and all we're going to do is very slowly separate the packets once again. 4 cards in that one, and then 4 cards in this one. Okay, so all we're going to do next is cry, because I might have forgotten what to do next, but hopefully not. So all we're going to do is we're going to rub the packets once again, and just like that, hopefully we have separated the packets once again. Well, 4 Aces down there, and then once again the Jacks. Oh, maybe I think I did forget a step, because something's gone wrong here. I should have cried, because what the heck? That isn't normal. The Jacks have completely evaporated. That's not what I expected at all. So that's the trick, I guess, guys. So if you want to learn how to perform that, then stick around. If not, then please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. With all that said, let's just jump into the tutorial. So for that trick, I know it's quite a long one, but it is a really cool oil and water routine, but it does require a lot of Elmsy counts. But no, we've already learnt the Elmsy count, we've done that, so hopefully we should be able to perform this no problem. So you're going to need 6 ace of diamonds for this and 3 jack of spades. So you're going to take 2 of your ace of diamonds and we're going to place them into the 3rd and 4th position in between your jacks here. So it's going to look like this, and then you're going to have 4 ace of diamonds just in a packet on their own to begin with. Okay, so that's what your packets are going to look like at the start. So now we can begin. So all we're going to do is, first off, you're going to pick up the packet of jacks and you're going to do an Elmsy count to show 4 jacks. So that's your first Elmsy count. As you show, you have 4 jacks. You now place this packet face down off to the side, just like that, and you pick up the ace of diamonds packet. Now, you don't necessarily need to do an Elmsy count here because you do genuinely have 4 ace of diamonds, but you want it to look consistent, so you're going to do an Elmsy count anyway, or I would if I were you. That was really bad. So you're just going to do an Elmsy count to show 4 ace of diamonds, and then you can spread them out and show 4 ace of diamonds anyway. It doesn't make a difference. So that you just spread those cards out on just like that, and you pick up the packet of jacks. So now we're going to do the first interlacing process. The first time we do it. The first time we do it, we're just going to place a jack. We're not going to show it because it is an ace, okay? And now we're going to place an ace. So at the moment we have 2 aces. So next we're going to place another jack. We're not going to show it again because once again it is an ace. So we have 3 aces so far, and then we're going to place another ace. So we've already placed 4 aces. Half the trick is almost done. That's cool, isn't it? So all we're going to do next is we're going to do a double lift. We're going to pick up 2 cards as one. We're going to show it as a jack. In fact, this is 2 jacks. So we're just going to pick up 2 cards as one, show a jack, place it down, just like that. And then we're going to place another ace, place it down, place our final jack, which is genuinely another jack, and then our final ace, just like that. So now all we're going to do is square everything up, just like that. And what we need to do before we reveal anything is we need to actually reverse the top 2 cards of the packet in the guise of just showing that everything was super fair. So we're just going to pick up the top card, then the second card, and we're going to place it on top. So we reverse the top 2 cards, just like that. We're going to show them to the spectator, and then we're just going to pick up the next 2 cards without reversing the order and show them to the spectator. And that just genuinely looks like the cards are mixed jack, ace. But reversing the top 2 cards here is actually just place 2 aces right next to each other, which is exactly what we need. So we're going to just place down the 3rd and 4th card down there, and then place the top 2 cards back on top, just like that. So all we've done there is just reverse the top 2 cards. So now we say all we need to do is add some friction, or whatever you want to do, whatever your patter is, and you turn over the packet, and you can just strip off now the top 4 cards to show 4 aces, place them down, and do another Elmsy count here to show 4 jacks. Okay, so that's the first phase done. The second phase is very similar. We're going to flip the jacks face down, and we're going to keep the aces face up though. This is the difference between the first and the second phase. So what we're going to do is you're going to place 1 jack down. Obviously not going to show it. It is an ace. You're going to turn over an ace and place an ace down. Next, you're going to do a double lift, and you're going to turn over 2 cards as one, showing a jack. You're going to flip the card back over, and then place a single down, and this is just an ace. So placed 3 aces so far. We flip over the next ace, and we turn it over and place our 4th ace in a row, like we did in the first phase. We now do another double lift. We're showing 2 jacks as one here. We're going to place it down as 1. We flip over another ace. We place a 3rd ace, our final jack, and then place our final ace on top. Now we do exactly the same thing as we did in the first phase. We square everything up, we reverse the top 2 cards, pick up the next 2 cards, show the spectators what we have just to make it look more convincing, and just place everything back down just like that. Okay, so we now add the friction, do whatever we need to do, flip over the packet, and we do exactly the same thing. We strip off the next top 4 cards even to show the 4 aces, and then we're going to do another Elmsley count to show 4 jacks. Now we're going to do a slight mixing process just to displace the cards, because we need to put these cards in a certain order. So to do this, all we're going to do is strip off the top and bottom card, just like this, and we're going to place those at the bottom of the packet. Okay? And next we're going to do is we're going to reverse the top 2 cards. I'm going to go 1, 2, and we're just going to place those back at the top. Okay? So what that does is it places our packet in jack, ace, jack order, just like that. So now we're going to explain to the spectators, they've seen what happens when we mix the cards, interlacing them, and we're going to show them what happens when we don't mix them and interlace them. So we're just going to flip the packet of jacks, or the packet of jacks, the mixed packet here, face down onto the table, and then immediately place the aces on top face down. Okay? So once you've done this, you can do your little friction move, and you can now do the Hammond count, which you're going to need to place the cards into middle grip here. And all you're going to do is you're going to strip off the first jack as 1, then you do an ace, then a jack, and then an ace. Now at this point, behind this jack is 4 aces, so we're going to want to not show that. So to avoid that, we're going to carry on with the Hammond count. So I'm just going to quickly reset everything. So we're going to go jack, ace, jack, ace, and then as we go on to move on, we're literally going to switch the packets between our hands. So I'm going to place this packet in my right hand in between the grip between my thumb as I take the ace packet from underneath. Obviously it'll look a bit smoother than that, so just like this, pretty much. We switch the packets and we just carry on as normal. Okay, and then the last 2 cards we're going to hold as 1. It is an ace and a jack, but there will be discrepancy in how many cards we've shown, so we're just going to place it down as 1. Okay, so we've just shown the whole packet of the cards being completely mixed, and this is where we should be at now. So we have 4 aces, then jack, ace, jack, jack, ace. This is where we should be at now. Okay, so now we're going to flip over the entire packet, and we're going to just take the top 4 cards. We're not reversing the order or anything, we're just going to place them down over there like this. And we're next going to show 4 cards over here, but we can actually show the faces of these cards as long as we keep the bottom 2 cards held as 1. Okay, so you see what I mean? So we'll show a jack, we'll show an ace, and then we'll show a jack, and then we'll show an ace, which is obviously 2 cards held as 1. So it'll look something like that. Okay, so we're showing jack, ace there, just like that. So now we point over here, we say we've got 4 cards over here still, and we have 4 cards over here, and we're going to do an Elmsley count. Okay, so we've done the Elmsley count now, and once you've done that, you add the friction or whatever, flip over the packet, and reveal that now the cards have separated. So you do another Elmsley count to show 4 jacks, and all you're going to do is, you need to remember to do this displacement before you reveal over here. You're just going to take one of the jacks and use it to flip over the rest of the packet and place it on top. Okay, so that will leave you in this position, just like this. Okay, so once you have done that, you can now reveal that the 4 aces are now on the table. Okay, so all you're going to do now is you're going to spread through these cards, just like this, holding the bottom 2 cards as 1 here. And you're going to place each ace in between each of these cards here. And then the final ace will go on top. Okay, so now you can square everything up just like this. That was just like this even. Don't know what happened to my voice there. And now all we're going to do is do exactly the same thing. We're going to take the top 4 cards, we're going to place them down just like this. And now all we need to do over here is there is one final displacement that we need to do, and that is we're going to take the top 2 cards and we're going to cut them to the bottom. So we're going to do this display here, holding the bottom 2 cards as 1 here again. So we just do this, and we're going to cut the cards, add the friction, and we say now the cards have separated. We're going to do an Elmsley count now to show that all of the aces are in our hands and have separated. And now for the big reveal, you can now flip over the packet on your right, do an Elmsley count to show another packet of aces. I know that was quite a lot, it is a lot, but hopefully you can like rewind through the video. I didn't want to keep going over stuff because I know that can get a bit confusing. So hopefully I've covered everything for you to be able to perform this amazing oil and water trick. So with all that said, I hope you enjoyed. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Goodbye.